Hi, I'm Dearborn City Councilwoman Leslie Herrick, and I'd like to welcome you to the first edition of the new Council in the Community program that we're introducing, previously known as Meet Your Council. And I'm very happy that this first edition that I'm working on with me is Corporal Dan Bartok from the Dearborn Police Department. Dan has been working with the Police Explorer Post here at the Dearborn Police Department. So I'm so glad that you're able to join me today to talk about this program.
Yeah, so absolutely. Thank you, Councilwoman, for allowing us an opportunity to speak with you. So our Explorer Post is the oldest post in the state of Michigan, law enforcement Explorer Post. And currently we're still running, we're in operation. We meet on Tuesday nights here at the police department. We've been around since the 1960s. And we have quite a few law enforcement officers right here in the Dearborn Police Department that came from our very own Dearborn Police Explorer Post.
And I was going to ask you about that. So the Explorers can join at the age of 13, is that correct?
So generally our minimum qualifications to join our Explorer Post is you have to be 14 and or in the 9th grade. And then you also have to have, if you have a driver's license, you have to have a relatively clean driving record, no major negative contacts with law enforcement. You have to have a good school record, because we are law enforcement related. We have to make sure that the students and the young adults that are joining our program, meet certain qualifications. Yeah.
And these young people, as you mentioned, a lot of them have gone on to become police officers with Dearborn or with another department if maybe we didn't have an opening at the time. Do you have any idea over the years how many have gone on to law enforcement, especially in Dearborn?
Wow, so that's a great question. I unfortunately don't have that number right off the top of my head, but I can tell you we have had dozens of officers come through our program. I'm one of them. I started as a Dearborn Police Explorer here many years ago now, but we recently just graduated 2 out of our police academy. We have a couple currently enrolled in the police academy that have been hired by the police department. We've had our explorers go off and go to the United States Naval Academy. We've had explorers be police officers, not just in the city of Dearborn, but for agencies all over the country too.
We see explorers at homecoming every year helping out with various duties when it comes to public safety. What are some of the other places that residents might see our explorers around town?
So we try to be as active as possible. So just about any major community event, you will likely see our police explorers. If you ever go to Greenfield Village during any of the major events, you'll see our police explorers at Greenfield Village assisting with the crosswalk operations to make sure pedestrians get across the street safely. So our explorers like to try to get involved in the community as much as possible. We encourage that. But in order to have them involved, they have to come to meetings, they have to be trained. It's an organization where the explorers are exposed to a lot of good quality law enforcement training and, like I said, good skill development.
Well, it sounds like you've been running a wonderful program, and I think that you will continue to see the numbers grow as your current explorers spread the word about the experiences that they're having. But as a resident of Dearborn myself, and having been involved in a different type of Explorer program, I appreciate what you're doing here with the young people and their efforts here serving the community as they're growing and going to school and preparing to take on more professional roles. So thank you so much for everything that you've been doing, Dan.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for spotlighting the Explorer Post.
We are in the Dearborn Police Department, one of the training rooms here, and I'm pleased to meet Sierra, who's one of our police explorers here in Dearborn. So Sierra, could you tell us, first of all, are you in school? Where do you go to school?
I currently attend Oakland Community College. I go to the Royal Oak campus, and I'm studying to get my associate's degree in criminal justice.
Well, perfect. That makes a lot of sense that you're here in our Explorer program. And how long have you been an Explorer here?
I've been an Explorer a little bit over a year, so about a year and a half.
What are some of the things that you've worked on here in Dearborn, activities in the community, or some of the hands-on things that you've learned here in the police department that have made an impact on you?
There's been a lot. We do a lot of details at Greenfield Village, sometimes at the Ford Civic Center across from the department, where we get to interact with the community and be a helping hand it's definitely really nice to get to know new people. That helps you form like new communications, new relationships with others outside of the Explorer Post, because in the future, you know, depending on what you want to do as your profession, it's really good to have contacts, so people you can reach out to, rely on, and other resources that can benefit you in the future as well.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with me. And I thank you for the service that you're doing for the residents of Dearborn. As you pointed out, you've been in a number of community events here where you and your fellow explorers have helped with controlling traffic and some of the other things here. So I wish you a lot of luck going forward, and I'm glad that you're here getting the experience that you are as you kind of narrow down what it is you want to do going forward. So Sierra, thank you for joining us today. And now I'm pleased to welcome Daniel to our episode of Your Counsel in Your Community. And Daniel's a police explorer here in the Dearborn Police Department. So Daniel, tell me, how long have you been part of our Dearborn Police Explorers?
I've been lucky enough to have been a part of the program for 5 years now.
Okay, and what rank do you currently hold?
I hold the rank of Executive Sergeant.
Okay, and what does that mean?
In my role as Executive Sergeant, that means I am in charge of our other sergeants in the Explorer program who oversee our teams. And so I manage them, and then I'm also the communicator between our explorers and our coordinator, Corporal Bartok.
What advice would you have for somebody who's considering joining the Explorer Post? What could they expect, and how to make the most of it?
If you're interested in law enforcement, or even just joining a program where you get to meet other people, do some cool stuff, and learn about law enforcement, I would say come on in, join us at a meeting or two, join the program, and then just kind of work your way through. In this program, you put in what you want to earn out of it. If you put in a lot of work and you show a lot of enthusiasm for the program, you're going to get a lot in return.
And it's impressive to see where young people go once they've been part of this program. What's next for you?
I'm hopeful to get into the August Academy and join the Dearborn Police Department.
Well, we appreciate the work that you and your fellow explorers do in our city and helping out at the special events. And more importantly, you're setting your sights high and you're getting trained. And I wish you all the success in the world as you go forward and use the experience that you've gained here in the Dearborn Police Department's Explorer program.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Counsel in the Community. I look forward to seeing you next time.